Hi, and welcome back to the Mortgage Broker broadcast. My guest this week is the bearded mortgage broker, otherwise known as Ian Hewett. And to be honest with you, I'm so looking forward to talking to Ian, getting to know a lot more about him, his personality, the man behind the beard, shall we say. I've never really spoken to him before. We've exchanged a few messages, but I'm really looking forward to getting to know him, what drives him, what his motivations are, why he wanted to get into mortgage services, into financial services, understand about his core values, and then really how the bearded mortgage broker came about, how he's created that brand, how he's grown that brand. And yeah, let's just get him on the podcast. Welcome onto the podcast, Ian. How are you?
Very well, Craig. Very well indeed. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm very good, thank you, and thank you for agreeing to being on the podcast. And I'm super excited about this because we've never really had any conversation before you becoming a guest on the podcast. So I'm like looking forward to hearing about you, all about your journey, your past. We're going to talk a little bit about football because we've had a little bit of interaction before the podcast recording about that. But then just more importantly, just about the brand and the t-shirt you're wearing underneath the brand as well. So it's a full through brand. So we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, I'm just so looking forward to seeing where this podcast is going to go, and who knows. So no agenda, no nothing. We're just going to go for it.
Good
So
man.
for those people that don't know about you, first of all, do you want to just give a bit of a history in terms of before financial services and then into financial services, and we'll talk about why and the brand and stuff like that after that.
By all means, please stop me if I go on because I can talk forever. So I will warn you now. Yeah. So at a very young age, I left school, went into retail because it was something to do. I started off as a butcher.
Wow.
There
Wow.
you go. Did that for a few years, and then worked in lots of different retail areas. And I literally mean different. So I did the food supermarkets, I did DIY chains, I did fashion, I've done health and beauty. Lots of other things, but all in retail, all at sort of after a certain period at store manager, then area manager level. And then after a while of doing lots of hours, dealing with lots of interesting characters, shoplifters, you name it, I've had to deal with it. Money laundering, I've had to deal with that. Fraud, deal with that. I decided I just can't be doing it anymore. I want to have a decent career. I've got a little girl, she's only 4, and I wanted to spend time with her and watch her grow up.
Right.
So I decided to become a self-employed mortgage broker. So I stopped work. I stopped completely for 6 months. Went and got all my qualifications, all my training, and then went to the guy that did my mortgage. I went, I've got this CMAP qualification. Where do I go over it now? And he just went to me, yeah, work here.
Brilliant.
So you're probably of a similar age. Do you remember the guy that was at the Remington Steel advert that he liked it so much he bought the company?
Yep.
So I went to him because he did such good service for me, and I ended up joining the company. So Victor Cayenne, there you go, showing me age now. And
yes. I know a lot about him because I'm a big, like the Remington Steel guy, but I'm a big NFL fan. I'm a New England Patriots fan for a long time. He actually bought, from the money he made from that line, he bought that NFL franchise.
Wow.
And had to sell it in the end because of various things went on, which we've got too little time on a podcast to talk about that. But he had to sell the in the end because of what happened with the NFL team.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry about that. Diverse into the off piste already.
I'll research that later. Yeah. So again, we just bought a house, and we got a baby on the way, and I went, let's tell you what, let's stop my career where I'm earning a sensible salary, and just retrain. It's fine. I mean, I was 45 at the time. 46. I went, let's just do it. And then, cracked on. And then I've been doing this now for just over 3 years.
Wow. What a great, like, I always talk about timing, and it's just, I don't think there's ever a right timing. Like, look, like you're living proof that actually, wow, moving house, baby on daughter on the way. Let's just throw everything all the certainty that I've got, let's throw that out of the window and let's go for some uncertainty.
That's why I've got grey in here.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm with you on it because that's exactly what I did. Probably a year before you. So I think some people said it was a midlife crisis. I just wanted to be in control of my own destiny. I think that was the big thing for me at the time. And so I worked. I'm not going to bore you with my part because it's a podcast about you, but I just went through the same sort of thing. Like I was secure role, decent salary, working with a decent team. All the things that I've built over the years, what I thought was a career, and thought, you know what, let's just throw it all out the window and let's go self-employed and be a mortgage broker and start to build a firm. So and looking back, which is easy to look back and things like that, it's you've made it work because you had to make it work. So which is a good thing. So what was I'm keen to understand, what was your partner's name? What's your partner's name?
Louise.
How did that conversation go with Louise when you're sort of sitting down with her and I'm guessing you sat down and she's pregnant and various emotions going on in her own head and then thinking, right, this is what I'm going to do.
It wasn't taken lightly. So I decided to do the financial service side of it a few years earlier. But it just wasn't the right time then. So I actually bought an online course. They sent me a massive pack of paperwork to sit there and read. And I'm like, what is this? And I was like, I can't learn that way. That's not my learning style. And I was bored after a couple of hours. I was like, this is not right. And I went, right, let's forget about that for now. I'll go back to that another stage. I'm employed. I'm earning good money. I'm enjoying my job to a degree. I'll keep it there, but I'll carry on as I am for now. And it got to a stage working for quite a few companies, and the way they was treating the people wasn't for me. I've got quite a good integrity, and I've been asked to do things that I didn't agree with. So I've managed people out of businesses that have been mistreated, and it wasn't their fault. So they needed it. So I don't like it. I'd rather manage people properly, and if they fail after I've managed them, that's the way it is. But I can't just go into someone and get rid of them just like that because someone tells me to. That's not the way I work.
No.
So there was lots of. I won't go for a whole lot because I'll start saying names and that'll get me into trouble. But yeah, I just wasn't happy, and so me and my wife, after about 2 years, we sat there, we were talking about it, and she went, "Look, you've got a bit of money in the bank now. Let's just do it. And then because she could see I wasn't as happy as I used to be, and then she agreed that it's for me to see little. And honestly, I've spent so much time with my little girl that I would never have done in another job. And that for me is worth. It's priceless. Yeah, no money can pay for that. No. But yeah, the conversation was challenging, but she totally understood, and we've supported each other. So for her journey, she's now in a very nice job. But when she first started in her employment, she wasn't. But it was a case of building up her skill set and making her believe in herself to get to that level. So now she's she's doing all right. So again, it's that you got to work as a team. You can't just be one person.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you, Ian. I think that's the big thing. That's why I asked the question about support from Louise, because I think it's vital that you're going into an uncertainty. You're sticking your head out of the parapet. You're going over the trenches. Whatever the saying is or the phrase or what people say, you've got to have like the support of your family and your friends behind you because you're more likely to make it work. If you haven't got that support, you're not only starting a new career in a totally different industry, going self-employed and things like that, but then if you haven't got the support behind the scenes, it's just you feel as though you're even more isolated on your own, and you're battling behind that. You're getting having challenging conversations during the day. Then at the end of the day, if you're talking to Louise about what your day is like and things like that, if you didn't have her support, she'd be sort of. I'm not saying Louise is like this, but like, do you know what I mean? It's like if she'd be like, sort of, well, are you sure this is the right thing, Ian? Are you sure you did it? Like, so I mean, it's a different. Whereas you need somebody that's pushing you from behind or pulling you along, kind of thing, rather than sort of behind you wagging the finger saying, "I told you so."
Yeah, no, it's very much a very collaborative relationship. We've been together 15 years now. Been married 9 of those. So it's been good. It's been an interesting time. We've had some ups and downs as you do in relationships, but yeah, it's working together, communicating, and getting it done that way, it does work. So yeah, so
Definitely.
that's what happened to me. Again, I just felt like a change, and I think for me, some of the process I was seeing some of my friends go through with buying houses, they were struggling with some of the process of it and some of the way they was being treated. And I was like, well, I'm good at dealing with people. I'm good at giving service. I'm good at that part of it. What better way of helping people out than getting them a mortgage and obviously protection as well. And then I knew I enjoyed that aspect of it. And I enjoy relationship building. I enjoy talking to people, finding out their stories. So why not make some money from doing that?
Yeah. And it's absolutely, and the thing is, it's the industry is crying out for people like you. It's like my core values, which I go on about, is honesty, trust, integrity, and that's the top big thing. Is like within the industry, you coming into a totally new industry and being the way that you are and building your brand around. So the integrity part of things is just like a massive thing that is needed across the mortgage industry. Absolutely, because it's just we need to push it forward, drag it kicking and screaming, and sort of be sort of very much of a new school mentality rather than an old school, shall we say?
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I'm quite wet behind the ears in terms of mortgages. I've still got loads to learn. Every day is a school day. But in terms of talking and communicating to people, I'm a solution solver. I like to find problems and fix them. So I've had mortgages come on my desk that other brokers have just gone, don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, they're not easy to place, but I've placed them, and
And
I
like
get more
and
joy out of that than anything.
sorry, and that's that was I was gonna say to you, like surely like the joy out of that from your own point of view and from a client's point of view, that client you've got that client for life. Unless you
Yep,
do something seriously wrong with that client to
yep,
push them away, you have got that. So invest in that time now when you're building your brand and building your business, getting that what I'd say, do your job and go as far as you possibly can. If you've gone down every road, every path, every avenue to try and place that case, and you can't place it, then fine that you've done your job. But if
yep.
you've not, but whereas like those clients that you're building and the business that you're building will be your clients for life because you're just building loyalty as well as your brand and your reputation, your referrals, all those sorts of things. So
Yeah,
it
I
might
mean,
seem go on, sorry, mate.
so one of my clients that I did do that for, I'm now getting constant referrals from her because I did go on above and beyond. So it's paid dividends, absolutely paid dividends.
And the thing is, this is a podcast and we do record the video, but I can see the smile on your face and the pride behind that from what you've actually done from there, from a broker coming into a new industry to then going down every avenue and then getting the amount of referrals you're getting there now. You must I clearly you're sitting there with a big sense of pride.
Yeah, it's nice. And again, I don't get me wrong. I don't do thousands of mortgages. It's not the way I work. I'd rather do less, but do them well. Um, it's just the way. If I've been offered jobs to work for companies that say you'll do 30 a month, you'll do 30 a month. I don't want to do 30 a month.
No.
I want to do X amount a month, but I
X
want to do them
amount.
very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the way I want to work, and I want to build that relationship up. I want to do their protection. I offer a will writing service. I want to do their wills. So
Right.
I get one client, I can do 2 or 3 things with them. So
Right.
I don't need to go and find 3 or 4 clients. If I get one, I can do I can do most things with them.
Yeah.
So it's just working harder, not smart. Working smarter, not harder, isn't it? Really?
Smart. It is, and I totally agree with you. I think the thing is, you're better providing the best service, the first class service, the 5-star service to X amount than
Yeah,
tripling that, quadrupling that. And if you was in the corporate world, like I talked to Ash about it, and I know that you know Ash is like, because we both and I come from the corporate world. If you can do 10, you can do 12. If you can do 12, you can do 14. If you can do 14, and it's all that time. And I'm not saying that everyone's like this, but I don't believe it's not a service led business, whereas yours is the pounds will look after themselves because you're delivering that great service.
yeah,
Is that something that you believe in?
yeah, absolutely. And that's why I charge a fee. And my clients can see that I'm worth charging that fee because I walk them through the whole process. It's not give me your paperwork, here's your application, see you later. We're talking, I'm communicating, I'm talking through the whole steps. I'm trying to, if they've got an issue, one guy's got a problem with a plumber, so I found him a plumber because I know a plumber in that area. Yeah, it's not just. Do you know what I mean? This part of my service, I'm there to help you. What do you need? It's just one of those things. You just got to try and help these people out. Some of them have got no idea what they're doing. First time buyers, they've got no idea, and they don't know who to talk to.
No.
So they talk to us. That's our job. That's how I see it anyway. Maybe I'm a bit crazy, but
no, you're not. I 100% agree with you, Ian, and that's why, like, when you're talking then about the broker fees, I know brokers that don't charge fees. That's the business model. That's why they choose to do it. I know brokers that do. The firm that are running the advisors, we do charge broker fees because, like you say, probably a good question to ask you in terms of, was it something from the outset that you knew you're going to charge broker fees? Because that's a big question that brokers always have when they're first starting out as self-employed. Do I charge a fee? Don't I charge a fee? If I do charge a fee, what fee do I charge? So what went through your head with regards to fee charging?
So I did several interviews with several companies before I decided what I was going to do. And some of the companies I spoke to, they all charge fees, and they charge some high fees. I'm talking big money. One of them charged up to 2% of the mortgage fee.
Right.
Yeah. And I was sitting there, I said to them, how can you justify that to your client? Because if you're doing a £500,000 mortgage and you're charging them 2%, that's a lot of money.
Big fee. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the sale fees is a bit different than other prices. That's a 2-bedroom flat. But I was like, what do you give them to justify that fee? And he's like, well, that's just my fee. So he couldn't explain to me why he charged that fee. And that's why I was like, I can't work for you. I spoke to other companies and they all charge fees and they sort of try to explain how they do it. And I say to my clients, look, this is what I do for you. I walk you through the whole journey. I list it all out like a chart through the whole journey. Okay. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'll do for you. If you want this, I'll do this. I've got solicitors I use. I get no referral fees from.
Right.
I'm not in this to make money. It's not my job. I want them to get the best service they can get. So my solicitors I use do a very fantastic job. If they don't do a fantastic job, I don't refer them.
You don't refer, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in this to try and conditional sell people to do things with me. I want them to get the best service to make sure they have a great experience of buying property, because it is the biggest thing you're going to do in your life.
Yeah, which it is, but and like when you justifying your fee and walking the client through their journey, what they're going to do, you're holding their hand through the whole process. That's a big thing for clients. They want somebody that they know and trust that's going through this biggest decision and biggest thing they will generally do in their life, apart from divorce. I think it's the sort of the top one, but I think it's one of the top three anyway.
Yeah.
But it's they want somebody that they know and trust to hold them through their hand through the whole process. So, and that's what you're getting across in terms of what you're doing and why you charge a fee. And it's not justifying it is not the right word. It's just you giving the benefits of what you do and why you do it. And that's that's the big thing. And that's the clients have got that choice. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what the fee is. Or you don't work with me and go elsewhere and get a fee-free service. And I'm not saying every fee-free service is bad, but you generally get what you're paying for.
Again, it's just their business model. If they choose to do that, that's fine. I choose not to. If they choose to, that's absolutely fine. Again, I'll say I know some fee-free people that actually do a very good job and do good service. I know people that charge money and don't. So it is an emotive subject in this industry, and I love anyone that comments on it because you can see the passion in the comments in LinkedIn or Facebook.
Yeah,
it does make me laugh. But so I choose to, and I explain to the clients why. And again, so from the background I come from, we use the term FAB, features and benefits. So what's the feature? What's the benefit? So what are you paying for? I'm the feature and benefit. So this is what you're going to get for that money.
And it is as simple as that, isn't it? That's the thing you've got to get across is you don't need to overcomplicate it. You stick to your fees. You have what your fee model is your fee model. Just stick to it. When you're talking about your features, you're going to be very passionate about your features and your benefits. What you've then got to have in your head is what your model is regarding fees. So you don't sort of change the tone of, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna charge you £500 for doing that. It's either that's not the way. It's like the features and benefits, like and going through that process. And it's like, and for all that, I'm going to charge you 500 quid. I'm not saying £500 is your business model. I'm just throwing a figure in the air, but it's like, it's the way that you come across to the client that it's like, I'm going to do all these things and it's only going to cost you £500 to do that. And like clients sort of, and if you're that way and you're confident in your fee and your fee structure and your benefits and your features from the start, then I see very little resistance from a fee point of view when you come across that way.
I've only had one person say they didn't want to use me. That's it. And that's and I was like, well, that's fine. See you later.
And do you know, and that's you can't win them all. You can't. That's good. That's good going in terms of one person that sort of told you that I'm not going to work for you based on your fee. That's good going. Yeah, to be fair.
But again, it's having that honest conversation up front. It's not trying to hide it and sneak it in through the back door. This is what the fees are. There you go. But this is what you're going to get for that fee. Yeah. And when I explain it again, this is what I do, this is how I do it, they sort of can see the value in it. And again, as long as it adds value, people like to save money and they like to save time. That's the two biggest things they like to save. Yeah. So if I can save them some time and some value, it's worth every penny.
Yeah. You do talk a lot of sense here, and I'll give you that.
Don't spoil it.
So I don't want to look at, obviously I understand now why you got into financial services and what you're doing. We're sort of keen to understand the brand now. So in terms of what were you going through at the time thinking, do you know what? Was it I need to find a niche? Is it just I need to think about what my brand looks like? Or was it something you always had in terms of it? Or let's go into the brand sort of mentality kind of thing. Because we can see the brand. If obviously your beard's covering the beard thing, but we can
this is
see that
this is a different shirt. I won't go too high up. It's fine. So I was a bit of a lurker because obviously, and I'll use that because Gary Dasser loves that terminology. I stood in the background a lot and was watching. I like to look at people. I like to people study. So I was looking at different things. I use LinkedIn predominantly. Right. So, and I'm on there constantly because I like to look at who's in the industry and what they're doing. And again, that's why I picked up you, Matt Paul, and others, Ash, Alex Curtis, blah, 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 blah. I won't say all the names, there's too many of them. But I've looked at what they're doing and how they're pushing their business model. I was like, well, what can I do differently that's going to work for me? So for about 2 years, I was really looking at it, and there's a guy on there that's called the Inktivisor. So he's he's covered in tattoos, but that's his brand on the Inktivisor. And I was like, okay, so he's covered in tattoos, which is an unusual look in our industry. It's more common now than it used to be, but it's still unusual, and especially the man he's got, and they do look quite good. And I was like, well, what have I got differently? I can't put a beer belly because that's not that unusual. I didn't want to put bald and glasses, so I was like, well, what's this on my face? And then one day I was at a meeting and someone went, oh, you're the guy with the beard, aren't you? I remember, I know you're the guy with the beard. And I went, oh, okay, so now I'm being recognised as the guy with the beard. It's a local networking event. I was like, well, I've got to use it. I've got to use it as my brand. And then that's how it developed. And then did a couple of training sessions, watched Matt Target do his, is it Matt? Was it Chris? What's his name? Chris
Target.
Matt Target's a footballer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Watched Chris Target do his training on Canva, and then I designed my own logo.
You did that yourself? You did the logo yourself?
All right. Did it myself.
Wow.
Yeah, I did it myself. That saved me a few quid.
Yeah, it did, yeah. It certainly did.
So yeah, that's all my own work. So again, someone that you can teach an old dog new tricks. Someone getting near 50, playing on Canva, come up with that. And again, I mean, Ash said, he goes, who did that brand for you, that design? I was like, I did it. He went, really? I was like, yeah. He goes, it's a really strong brand. I went, it works. But so no, I did it. So yeah, but again, I researched it first. I looked at other people's logos, other people's things. Were like, what can I take out of each one of those, and what can I use into mine? Now, the company I work under or in partnership with, I use their colours and their palette of colours and all their templates. Yeah, that's why it's that colour. It's not a colour I would necessarily choose myself, but it matches their branding, so that my branding and their branding, when we use them together, are the same.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Got
So I
you.
work for a company called Ames Financial. They've got the very same. So we work in partnership. So all the branding they've got is that colour, and I've just basically used their colours and my branding with the same fonts, same everything else, just so we look like we're working together in conjunction with each other. So we got this. I don't like this word, synergy. Oh, I feel dirty saying that.
The shiver down your spine.
Oh, that and holistic. Anyway, I've too many corporate meetings, so things like that just wind me up. Anyway, so and that's how it works.
We're gonna have like a little drum thing. We're gonna have like a little like. I need some sound effects of every time you drop like a holistic or like I'm gonna just drop in the like little soundbite.
I used to play bingo in my meetings with my area manager colleagues. That how often someone would say these particular sayings, and then we'd have to whoever got the most and had to buy the drinks at the bar. Anyway, move on from that conversation. So yeah, no, that's how it come about. And again, I did 3 or 4 designs first, and then I sent it off to David Miles.
Okay, yeah.
I sent it off to him, Ash, and a few others. I said, look, give me some feedback. What do you think? And they all picked the same picture. So I did three designs, and they all picked the same one. I was like, well, that's got to be it then. If these guys that are experts in that industry, all say that same picture, that's got to be the one I've used, and that's it. That's how I've done it. So again, it's making those connections with people that are quite well known in the industry, getting some free feedback from them, because feedback is a gift. So if you get it, take it.
You're absolutely right. I think the thing is that there's so many people out there that are prepared to shaft over mortgage brokers and pardon my French and really screw people over and think of it from their own. They're always thinking of it from their own angle, kind of thing, of thinking, well, what do I get out of that kind of thing? But there are so many people that are just open and like really honest and will give, like you say, free feedback in terms of just helping people within the industry. And that's how we should be within this industry. That's how the industry should really be moving forward. And like I say, you've used that. And in fairness, you've created your own brand and had feedback from 3 industry experts to say, and we've picked all the same one, because they all could have said, Ian, what are you doing? Look at this. Like, none of them. Go away and try harder. Go back again, go and try again, kind of thing. And then you could have done something totally different. But that's to say you've had that feedback on something you've done yourself and purely your own design. Obviously, you've used the color palettes, but in terms of the logo and the design, that's all yours. And having 3 industry experts all go back to the same one and say you need to be using that one, that again is good feedback for you, because, like you say, you're new into the industry, so to speak, and you're also creating your own logos and stuff like that as well, doing it yourself, which just proves that it can be. Yes, and I do use. I've never done anything myself. I think I did the first thing that we did with CS Mortgage Solutions was my logo, but then everything that's evolved since has been helped through Alex Curtis's firm or Fiverr or stuff like going out to freelance people on there. But it just proves that you can actually do it. How long did it take, Ian? How long did you sort of?
It wasn't quick. It was a research mainly. I wanted to find something that I thought suited me. So the research took me probably a good week. In the evenings, I was sitting there, and there's certain websites you can look at that help you design logos.
Right.
And I was going through them. I was trying different formats. I was downloading different things. I was trying loads of stuff to say, well, what's going to work for me. And then I found one I really liked. So I went, right, I think I can do that. And I went on Canva from Chris's training. So I had 2 sessions with him. So they were free of charge, because obviously I paid David for it, a little fee. So fantastic. Well worth the value. And then I cracked it. And Chris has actually said to me, he goes, that was a really good design. And he's been very supportive as well. He's offered me a few bits as well. Again, so people like can see that I'm trying, and I'm getting free bits from these people because they can see I'm trying. So you can't knock it.
No, not at all. And I think just having the guts to go out, do it yourself, just find, like, you can lose a lot of time with these sorts of things, and you can go down the rabbit hole and never come out again, kind of thing, with this sort of stuff, and just find yourself just spinning round and round and round. But fair play, absolutely first class and testament to you that you've just done that while you've obviously been servicing your clients and building your own business and doing your mortgages and everything else, and doing what your goal is and what your aim is. And so it's then now you've got that brand that everyone knows who you are. So that's the of it. And then moving. So when did you create that the bearded thing? Was that after your TMG award, or was that before your TMG award?
Very similar timing, so it
Right,
sort of
okay.
coincided. Yeah, it coincided, and the awards are next Thursday for this year's winner.
They are, yes.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
going up to Rotherham to see him open the new building and stuff. So
Wow. Oh, yeah, and that's like such a shame because like literally I was due to go, but I'm away. I'm going away on for a biggish birthday
uh,
on the actual Thursday. So it's
ah,
so yeah.
you can say how
So
old you are. Don't worry, I won't hold it against you.
no, well, it's my 50th, so
So I'm
that's what it
50
is.
this year as well, so don't worry.
Cool. Well, I feel as though I've got mutual sort of got a bit of shared love in the room then now about the coming of age of 50th, shall we say. So I'm not even bothered about it, to be fair. I'm looking forward to the holiday, but I'm not
It's just an
too bothered
age.
about. Exactly.
It's just an
Exactly.
age. But yeah,
So you're up for are you up for the best beard in the industry yet again this year?
yep,
Who's
yep.
your competitors?
Do you know what? When all the stuff come out, I had COVID, so I didn't even know
Right.
because I had such a bad headache I couldn't log onto a computer.
Right.
So I've literally got no idea.
Sh-
So
Mr. Curtis should be. Who won it last? Because you got was yours 2020?
well,
Yours is
yeah, I
yours
won it, but
2020. Yeah.
it's sort of been nearly 18 months since the last time I won it. So
Right. Wow. Trophy and a half that.
I can actually do the whole beard of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it?
That is, yeah. What an
Yeah,
award.
yeah.
Exactly. We don't want to talk about football and awards and trophies, but that's another story.
Well, we can't talk about that with Scott because obviously supporting Rotherham. There's not a lot to talk about, is there really?
I know. But there is from my point of view. We've got a big game. Like this will come out after we've played Rotherham in our crunch match on the Sunday. So we've got a big game
Oh,
on Sunday against high flying Rotherham. So Scott and Mr. Needham as well are
oh right,
Millers.
okay.
So yes, so we do have Mr. Needham. I do have a bit of banter now and again about the football, but I try not to talk about it.
Did you do the online football quizzes they did?
I did. To be fair, no, I didn't at the time. No, I didn't at all.
So you
Were
missed
they
the
all
nice up.
Rotherham based? Were they all Rotherham based?
It was all done on Zoom.
Right.
So we did a load of football quizzes on a Friday. It was good. It was good fun. And then
No, I did.
the last
I
one we did,
didn't.
I got Paul Merson on for him. And
Oh, right.
so
That's the story behind it then.
yeah, so because I do events as well. So I do after the speaking events with ex footballers and things like that. So
Which is perfect, to be fair, and that's perfect time because I was going to talk to you about, and I saw that and I thought that is literally what a great link from what you're doing in the mortgage world and the way that you're winning hearts and minds and awards with the best beard. And I think Mr. Curtis will be up against. He's sort of got a like I've like got nothing at all like compared
no.
to what like I nothing whatsoever. I did great once. I did about 3 years ago and sort of did get it. I loved it. I like getting it shaped. I like getting the
Yeah.
whole work done and stuff like that. But then yeah, it was just like one of those things I wanted to do, so I could do it. Filled with, I was just really shocked that it got loads of grey hair in it. I don't know why I was shocked, to be fair, but it was it was very great. So I thought, right, that needs to go. So
So
I
yeah,
went back to this. Yes.
it's there's a few people. I know Alex was nominated. There's a few others in there. I think Lewis Shaw's in it again, and he's got a strong beard. It's a bit weird talking about other people's beards, but
That's fine. We're
the
in
strange thing
control.
is,
It's comfortable.
well, it is my brand. But the strange thing is, now I walk down the street now. If there's someone with a sensible beard coming the other way, you get a little nod of appreciation from a fellow beard wearer.
Yeah. It's like that in crowd moment kind of thing. You're part of this the inner circle, kind of the nod and the wink.
Honestly, it is. It's like being a mason. I'm on a couple of Facebook groups that are just beard related, and
Wow,
advertising my services on there, and I'm getting feedback from people on there now. So yeah,
that is amazing. That
it's
is
like a
what I
subculture.
wow. That's just like taking that one thing. I'm not sort of making it like any smaller than what it was, but like taking that sort of one comment, one thing, and then just sort of seeing it grow and build. And then now, like you say, obviously, it's what you're known for, it's who you are, it's your brand, It's everything. And the thing is like that. That can never change. You can never. You've got that for the
I'm
rest of your
stuck with
day
it
now,
now.
mate. Yeah.
I'm gonna insure it like JLo did her bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be the insurance. You're going to have to get insurance soon to make sure that like when you're at the awards next week, any of the sole losers, when you do pick up your award, then they're not sort of holding you
I've
down.
not won yet. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I've got an accumulator on, and you're favourite in that
Bless
thing
you,
anyway.
thank you.
So
Again,
yes.
I won another award last year as well. So a company called Proper Awards, and they did it based on clients' feedback. So rather than doing it on buying the most amount of tables at an event,
Yep.
they actually did it on client reviews. So I won an award for that. So yeah, and that's a nice concrete award. It's like a slab of concrete like that, but it looks really pretty. I'm walking around London holding that in my hand at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. I mean,
no, definitely not. But like I say, remember, and like you say, that's very when you've won the award on the back of that, rather than how many seats you've paid for at the event is, which we won't go on to that today because I've done that before and talked about that. But yeah, it's good. So no, let's move on to your events thing. So like, what, why, how, like, why did all that come about?
So I'm from Maidstone in Kent, and there's a bar in Maidstone called Lashings, and Lashings is synonymous with a cricket team. So Lashings used to bring over all the Caribbean and Indian players, and they play around the country raising money for charity.
Right.
So people like Richie Richardson and Brian Lara and all that have all played for Lashings.
Right.
It's open till 6 a.m. The bar. I used to drink there, so we went for I lived across the road from it. It wasn't a clever move, but there you go. So Lashings started doing after dinner football events. So they'd have people like Kerry Dixon come along, Frank Sinclair, because the owner was a Chelsea fan.
Right.
And then we then
see, that name sends a shiver down my spine. Being a Sheffield Wednesday fan,
right.
Big and kid in the 80s, Kerry Dixon sends a shudder down my spine. So sorry, mate, to interrupt.
That's okay. Yeah. So yeah, he was there. A few others are there as well. So I just got another email coming for about payment. I got excited then. Yeah, and then we branched out and we did other events. And again, I weren't working for the company, but I ended up working for the company. I still work for them now, and I do my own events as well. So again, I don't do many. It's not like we do. I spend all my time doing it. But we used to run about 6 a year. Obviously, COVID put paid to a lot of that. But last week I was working with Mike Tyndall. So we did a corporate lunch with Mike Tyndall.
Wow.
Got some interesting stories about the royal family, but we won't talk about that because I'm not allowed to. Anyway, and then next month we've got Paul Mercer. The month after that we got Lordy and Botham. And then, but I've also some footballers. Also, I've got beyond the weeks. Got a couple of little pictures. I've got Nedley King up there and John Barnes up there.
Right.
So there's loads of them I've worked with. And if anyone needs any for footballer wise, give me a shout. I can sort it out. So I've got connections to get it all sorted. So if you want something for an event, let me know. I've also booked. This is very weird. Are you a fan of soaps? Not to wash with, but to watch on TV.
Not really, but I do know about them.
Okay, so on my list now is Sean Williamson, who is Barry from EastEnders. Yeah,
Barry. Yeah. Yes,
he's now my mate. We've had a couple of beers together. I've booked him for a couple of events. So yeah.
He was on League of Their Own I think he did the Christmas League of Their Own. Was it?
He's in them a lot. He's in them a lot. He's done Panto this year. He does karaoke as well, which is he gets on stage, does singing, he gets you up and gets you involved. So it's karaoke.
Right, brilliant.
But he fills out venues. He's like 300-400 people in a venue just to watch him do that. He loves it, absolutely loves it. So he's busy. But anyway, yeah. So Sean and I now do a few bits. Yeah, just random how these things happen.
Is it like a duo going on? Is it like
no?
No. There's no sort of like what's like Michael Ball and what's
Alfie
his
Bow.
name? Alfie. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
no.
There's none of that going on. No.
I'm very much in the background.
Backing singer then. So what you're saying is you're backing singer then.
I'm back with the microphone off. But no, he's a lovely fella as well. So again, it's things like we've booked Sean Ryder before as well. Did an event with
See,
Sean
now you're
Ryder.
talking. See,
So
now
I
you're
thought that really
talking.
might like that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely fella. I mean, I spent a good 2 hours with him before the event. Yeah, really nice guy.
Right.
Very clued up. Very clued up.
Excellent. See, that's more my sort of thing.
I thought
That's
that would be.
more.
That's why I threw that one in there for you.
Yeah. Just nice name dropping there. That's sort of like quite one that I would.
Yeah.
They are sort of my cup of tea.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, it was just something we did randomly, and a guy called Les. We become business partners doing these. We got asked to a couple of different events at different venues, and yeah. So if anyone wants anything like that, we can sort it out. It's not a drama, and again, it doesn't take up too much of my time. Don't get me wrong; it's time consuming, but it's with what I do, you can sort of juggle it. So I can do a lot of stuff in the evening, do the ticket promotions, set up things on Facebook, do the ads, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so it's not, you know, over. If you get plenty of time to promote it, you can do it.
Yeah. I think that's like if you knowing what you know now, it like will just help you with like make it just as easy as you possibly can and less time consuming as you possibly can, given
Yeah.
what you do. But I think with it all in, I think like through the whole conversation from talking about your daughter and Louise and then what you do and then talking through the event stuff, you've just got a big beam on your face. Through that beard, we can see that big smile behind it. Think you clearly love what you do from start to finish with the family, with your biz, like with the mortgage business, with the event stuff. You just love what you do.
This wasn't here a few years ago. That's why I got out of that other business. Yeah, I was coming home. I was going, I can't do this anymore. Just can't do it. And if you're in a job and that's the way you feel, you've got to walk away from it.
Yeah,
because it's not going to get better. But I've got friends that's still in that industry, and they're like that, but they haven't seen the light yet to make that move. It's like, come on, make the move. It's difficult. That's just something falling off my table. I was shaking my leg under the table, so there you go. It's something I like doing. Again, I'd say I don't do many of them, but the good thing for me is I'm then the other day was at the Mike Tyndall event. There's 180 people in a room. Most of them are high net worth people, and I'm mixing with them and talking to them and making connections. So if you look at my LinkedIn now, Mike Tyndall's on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, I did see that.
So he goes, if ever I need a mortgage, I'm like, really? Like you're going to need a mortgage? Yeah. So yeah, but it was good banter between us. So like I say, it's just nice to do. And again, you've got these people they're on there, and if I need him for something, drop him a message.
But the thing is, because you're wearing your brand, they will never ever. They will just. It's that connection between that and that. That is literally as soon as they would. Yeah, it's just that connection's there that just helps improve the relationship, the referrals, that trust. They know who they feel as though they know who you are. So they're trusting with, like Mike Tyndall saying to you, I'm just going to recommend you to the sort of the family for getting all the mortgages sorted out. Then
only certain members of the family though.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah. I was a bit cautious there about what you were going to, about what I was going to say with that, because we don't need any. I don't need to edit any clips out of this podcast. Trust me on that one. So
we don't need you sweating.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. We don't want to get involved with any pictures we don't want to be involved with. Definitely not. Definitely not. Ian, we're going to end on that. Literally poignant note, but no, I'm joking. We're going to I've taken up so much of your time, and I just absolutely haven't let me down in terms of my expectations of talking to you, getting to know you a bit more. We had a bit of a chat about the football and the Tottenham and the Wednesday before we started recording, so we haven't even talked about that. But I've just thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you, building that sort of understanding about you and understanding your brand. And I think it's just been a thoroughly enjoyable 45 minutes of just hearing about you and just seeing how much you love what you do and where you've come from and having that light bulb moment you said like several years ago and what you've created.
Thank you. Again, we've spoken on several other platforms, but never actually with our voices. So it's always quite unusual when you sort of you listen to something, you go, what are they going to sound like?
Yeah, yeah. We have got very distinct. Sometimes I get comments, feedback about, yes, I've got a very distinct northern. The Northerners say you've got a very distinct Yorkshire accent, and then everybody else sort of says you're clearly very northern kind of thing. So I am very aware of my accent, shall we say?
Yeah.
But we understood each other. That's the
Oh
main
yeah,
thing.
absolutely fine. Your accent's easy, don't you? I used to live in Belfast, so your accent's fine.
Right? Yeah, yeah. That is a tricky one. So I've got a few people that I know that are from Belfast. One of the advisors, he's like in my firm. He's from Northern Ireland. Absolutely great guy,
Yeah.
and he's on the podcast in a few weeks. And that one's going to be, who knows where that's going to go, because his accent's quite. Even though he's in Manchester and based in Manchester now, he is from Northern Ireland. So yeah, the northern southern northern thing, the dialect was never an issue. But Ian, thank you so much. I really,
Thank
really
you for
do
the invite. I really
appreciate it.
appreciate it as well. Thank you very much.
And good luck. One last thing. This will come out the day before the awards. So good luck
Ooh,
with the awards. So
thank you.
good
I'm
luck
going to
tomorrow
need it.
night. Hope you beat Alex. Hope you beat everybody else in the thing. I'm actually the funny thing is this podcast is up for an award as well. Not that I'm plugging it because it's too late for votes now. But this podcast is up for the podcast award as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So yes. So yeah,
Oh, good luck
hopefully.
to you as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But
And
Ian,
enjoy your
thanks very
50th.
much. I will do. I appreciate
Cut
that,
that
mate.
bit
And
out.
I'm good. I will. No, I won't cut that bit out. And I will offer that same sort of congratulations and enjoyment when it comes up for your 50th
Thank you,
later
mate.
in the year.
Appreciate it.